Welcome! I'm your host, BlueRidgeSilverhound. I am Sean, and I am going to go ahead and deliver the full version of the Monday market report for the week ending June 9th, 2019. And ladies and gentlemen, I have a huge episode for you. We got 18 coins. We're going to recap a lot of what happened during the Heritage Auctions Long Beach sale, in which a ton of coins, probably more than I could possibly imagine, sold for really deep amounts of money. We're talking oceanfuls of really cool coins. For the most part, Washington Quarters took probably the big prize in this whole sale. And I would venture to guess that maybe a prominent registry sold during this event. But we're going to go ahead and talk about it. But before we go ahead and jump into it, ladies and gentlemen, subscribe, hit the bell for instant notifications. We are about 10 short days away from the beginning of the summer, in which I will be doing giveaways, gift cards, silver, coins. I did two little preliminary giveaways here about within the last few weeks, all right? And went off like gangbusters. So this is my way of giving back to the community, to the Blue Ridge Silverhound fan base, all the subscribers and patrons. So I want to thank everyone for all the views and support. Appreciate all the love that I'm seeing. And a quick little shout out to JB's Coins. I hope your little lady gets better. We're all pulling for you, brother. JB's Coins, one of the founding fathers of YouTube coin channels out there, and we wish him the best, and wish the best for the missus. So let's go ahead and get started on this one. And there are a few great collections coins that I wanted to kick off this video with, as kind of like a starting off place to get your guys' juices flowing for some of the postmodern coins, post 1950 modern coins that we usually highlight during the Monday market report. So I have a trifecta of Jefferson nickels I wanted to share today. The first one is a 1981 Jefferson nickel. Okay, it's a little bit tougher date because it's early 80s, weaker than normal strikes. It's a tough date all the way around for all of the denominations of coins that the U.S. Mint had produced during that time period. So right here we have a PCGS graded Mint State 66 full steps, which seems to be the going average type of grade for this date of coin. This was part of the L.S. Brown collection. Okay, so it's probably a small provenance in there. This one sold on Great Collections yesterday for $1,012.50. It's an acceptable type piece for what could possibly go into a registry. It does exhibit a little bit of a misaligned die. You can see how the obverse of the coin is a little bit off center in relation to the reverse, so it's got a little minor error. But aside from that, it's a decent coin. For $1,000, it's kind of tough pill to swallow for a coin that was made in the 80s. The next coin that we have here for you is going to be a 1979 P. This is a Philadelphia minted example of a Jefferson nickel. Much like the 1981 that preceded it, another tough date to find with a a nice strike where it's not too mushy. This one graded out PCGS mid-state 66 with full steps. This one brought home a little bit more money. As a matter of fact, it brought home $2,706.75. Again, another condition-sensitive coin. A little bit tougher to find with the full strike, those full steps on the reverse on Monticello. So that's the 79 there for you. Coming up next, we also have a 1954. Okay, so we're getting a little bit older into Jefferson nickels. Again, the 50s, tough decade to find coins with a hammered strike. Okay, in the case of this 54, this one is a PCGS Mint State 66 with full steps, and this one sold for $1,406.25. And then finally, I thought I only had 3, but there is a 4th one in there, so consider it a little bonus action off of Great Collections. This one is the 1951S. Okay, this one again, probably the toughest out of the four coins highlighted from Great Collections in terms of finding one with a reasonable strike. Okay, this one is a PCGS Mid-State 67. By the way, that's almost like the impossible dream numerical grade. This one is full steps. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, brought home $9,281.25. There was plenty of action in Jefferson nickels in the Great Collection sale. There wasn't really a whole lot else throughout all the other denominations, unless you liked classic coins, that sort of thing, but it doesn't quite fit in the criteria of the post-1950 moderns that I usually talk about in these Monday market reports. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump right in to some of the notable Heritage Auctions Long Beach sale listings. Okay, we have quite a laundry list of coins to talk about, so we're not going to get you waiting any longer, and we're going to go ahead and jump into a 1957D Lincoln Cent. I will be honest, okay, this one graded PCGS Mid-State 67 plus full red. However, I'm not a crazy fan of the eye appeal of this coin. I feel like there's too many distracting marks, planchet marks. It doesn't look as eye appealing and lustrous as some of the other coins that we're going to talk about on the list. But it did sell for $3,840, so that's a lot of money. So I hope maybe someone bought this coin who was in attendance at the Long Beach sale that could see the coin for themselves. You could do that, if you attend the event in Long Beach. They have, the Heritage booth has all of these coins on site ready for prospective bidders to kind of scrutinize, take a look at them closer. So I hope this one looks better in person than it does on actual images. Heritage Auctions generally does a really good job imaging these coins. Okay, I will give them strong kudos in that department. But this one just doesn't do it for me. But anyways, that's my opinion on it. So coming up next, we have a 1959 Lincoln Memorial set. Okay, it's the first year of this particular series, one in which, it's not hard to find at all and change. However, finding one at this grade level certainly is. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 plus full red example, and this one sold for $5,040 during the Long Beach sale. Another tremendous looking coin. In contrast to the 57D, this 59 is what I would consider to be one of the more market acceptable 67 pluses you will ever find. A truly marvelous example, and I'm willing to bet it'll make some registry set fan happy. All right, truly marvelous coin right here. So what do we have next? Well, we have a coin here that looks and feels like a huge miss. It's like playing in a baseball game and your favorite player goes 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. That's what this 1964 Lincoln Cent is. This one is a PCGS Mid-State 67 red. And it's funny because this one sold for $1,140. Okay, but let me kind of backtrack a little bit about this particular coin. This was a coin as recently as about 5 or 6 years ago was extremely difficult to find in 67. I think about probably 2012, 2013, there were only a handful of these, probably about 6 or 7 examples in 67. At the time, these 67s in 1964 sold for between $6,000 and $8,000. That was commonplace. Now, what's changed? Well, there's more coins in the market at this grade level for a 64. However, this one right here, as you can see from the images, has all sorts of issues. I think the biggest glaring thing on this coin is the amount of carbon spots that you see on there. It's either carbon spots or it's probably some of the old grease chips on there from when these coins were produced, okay, which lends into its kind of like originality of the coin. Those of you may not know, if you open up BU rolls of some of these late 50s, early 60s Lincoln cents, it's customary to pull one out of a roll and then rub your finger on it, and you actually feel the grease come off the coin. It's actually a pretty neat phenomenon if you haven't seen it before. But this one right here just doesn't look quite the part for a coin that's sold for over $1,000. Again, a huge departure of what it used to sell for back 5 or 6 years ago. So that's the 64 Lincoln cent. So let's go ahead and jump into a different denomination today, and we have a 1983 Roosevelt dime. And it's not just any Roosevelt dime. This is one of the kind of like, the go-to pieces when it comes to proof set searching. All right, this one is the no S variety proof example. This one is a PCGS perfect graded proof 70 with a deep cameo finish. This one right here is sold for $6,000. This particular coin comes to market pretty regularly in various grades from 68 to 70. Okay, probably see a proof 70 come up at auction maybe 2 or 3 times a year. And it seems to be that the going rate is between $6,000 to $8,000. So this one right here, well within line of what it typically sells for. A pretty nice coin nonetheless, of one of the marquee chase pieces in varieties. So that's the 83 No S for you. All right, are you guys ready to go with the Washington quarters I have on tap for you? Because the first one right here, they're all pretty unique in their own right. Okay, this 1957D, of course, is a spot-on beauty. Okay, it is absolutely crusty and original with all the coloring. It's kind of splotchy, probably not my favorite in terms of the eye appeal of the toning, but again, with their original toning, it really helps set the stage for what is a coin that traditionally has been kind of stored in an album or in an envelope for many decades. All right, and that's how you develop this really nice toning on the coin. This one is the PCGS Mint State 68, and this one sold for $11,400. That is a hell of a way to kick off the quarter section of the Heritage Auctions Long Beach sale. Okay, so I have a good 7 or 8 coins I'm going to talk about. This one is definitely top of the list, but not to be outdone, we also have a 1957D. This one is toned as well, pretty nice. This one is actually a little bit better looking than the previous coin. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus, CAC certified, and this one sold for $7,800. A truly marvelous example as well. Now, if you guys are not into toning, then you'll like this coin right here. So we have a 1959 Washington quarter. This one is, what I would consider to be a blast white, a just plain vanilla of a coin. All right, you do see a little bit of peripheral toning on the reverse, but generally when these coins are graded, okay, the obverse technical grade kind of sets the stage for the total grade of the coin. So this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67 example, and this one sold on Heritage for $5,520. I mean, this is a really nice, eye-pleasing, eye-catching of a coin, plenty of luster. And it's these type of coins that I do love because you're able to see the actual surface. Okay, when you have something that is blast white, you're able to see if there's any imperfections, some of those planchet nicks, things of that nature. So that's a really nice, acceptable example for the market. All right, so coming up next, this is probably by far and away my favorite piece out of the whole list of coins on the Monday Market Report. And we have a sun-baked 1960D Washington quarter. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67, CAC certified. This thing has a lot going for it. This looks like what I call an Arizona toner. Okay, it's got some of those brilliant yellows and oranges, and just it's got all the wow factor. To make matters even better, it's got that crackly toning look. It's almost like being in the desert and you look down and you just see like cracked cracked earth all over the place. It's crazy, crazy, this coin right here, the way it looks. This one sold for 9 G's, $9,000. This one right here, if I had the money, and if money was not an issue, I would certainly add this one to my collection, just based on eye appeal alone. The grading is, it's not the thing that drove it. It's just the toning and the coloration of this coin that really sets it apart from everything else on the list. So as we continue on the Washington quarters, we're going to take a look at a 1962 Washington quarter. This one right here is a PCGS Mint State 67. This one also has some pretty gosh darn attractive toning. This is a coin that I would venture to guess was sold on the merits of the color and less on the grade. Okay, while 1962s and 62Ds are extremely tough in 67, this one really got a big boost from the actual color of the toning. All right, it's phenomenal. I love it. All right, this one right here sold for $10,200. I'm losing my breath here because this coin is absolutely amazing. The 60D and the 62 go hand in hand. All right, between both coins, you're looking at just about $20,000. Let that sink in for a moment. That coins from the 1960s sold for a huge amount of money, and that's a great example right there. So where do we go from here? I think we're done with the silvers, so let's go ahead and focus on a few clads. Of course, there are a few right here, and a couple beauties. The first one is a 1967. Traditionally, it's a ho-hum kind of coin because millions of these were made. They're very plentiful. But finding one in a PCGS Mint State 68 with a little bit of pretty pastel-y light blue toning is simply second to none. All right, this one sold for $5,040 on Heritage over the weekend. A pretty nice coin. I like it. It's not too bad. So the next coin we have is a 68D Washington quarter. Now this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 68, much like the coin previous to it. Again, this is a copper nickel clad coin. This one exhibits some pretty nasty rainbow edge toning. All right, this one is nice. Usually with nickel, you don't get the kind of toning that you see on silver. Okay, so to find one in this state is a rarity. So this one right here sold for $8,100. Another fine choice, if I say so myself. And then, of course, we're going to jump all the way up, another 14 years, and then we have a 1982 P Washington quarter. All right, this is a tough date. All right, this is a coin right here that traditionally does not usually strike up very well, much like the Jefferson nickel that I talked about earlier in the broadcast. Finding a market acceptable Washington quarter in the early 1980s is probably one of the most daunting, one of the most frustrating, one of the most difficult things you could possibly do as a professional grader. So this one right here graded out, get this, PCGS Mint State 68. Now, how in the world do you find a Mint State 68 1982P is beyond me. But for that kind of hard work and diligence, you know what? They got $10,200 for this coin. Absolutely freaking amazing. Again, I don't know how things like this happen. I would venture to guess that this individual probably went through many hundreds of dollars in 1982 BU rolls to find this one example that sold for over $10,000. Good job. And we have a couple more coins to go. We got one more Washington quarter, and in the case of this 1995, all right, it seems like it's way too new to be, anything kind of neat. But this one right here certainly is a nice one as well. This one is a PCGS Mint State 68. Another toughie of a grade for, one of the twilight years of Washington quarters before the state quarters took over. This one sold for $3,600. I'm still in shock that, your 1990s Washington quarter sold for many thousands of dollars like this one did. So we're going to end it off on a beast of a coin. Okay, so I have a Kennedy half dollar here. Okay, it's a 40% 1969D. Oh boy, take a look at the color on this one. It is very nice. Okay, it runs the whole spectrum of different colors. Okay, it's not gaudy, it's not spotty, it's not rustic and dirty looking. This one is just an overall smooth transition of colors flowing all over the coin. This one, believe it or not, is the only NGC graded coin on my list at a mid-state 67 star. Okay, if you guys don't know what the star means, it simply means that the coin has that extraordinary eye appeal, which is the color, the toning on there. This one, ladies and gentlemen, sold for $15,600. Oh boy. Okay, it's mostly because of the color, because I believe in the 69D, the top grade is a 68. So, obviously, it did not win over the bidders based on grade alone. The coloration, the toning really drove this one to unimaginable heights in the marketplace. So, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes the Monday Market Report, covering both great collections and the Heritage Long Beach sale. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It was a lot of fun to go through, you know, the paces. The Washington quarters are absolutely amazing. Okay, I'll admit I'm kind of jelly right now, because I want to find coins like this. I've never been successful in finding coins that look even close to some of these wild toned coins that you saw here. So don't feel discouraged. If anything, this report should really heighten your sense of, you know, sniffing out some of these coins. You never know where they're going to come out at. A lot of these are found in old albums. Grandma has them somewhere, you know, socked away in a little drawer or whatever. You know, it's all a matter of just searching and looking. But anyways, it was a pleasure talking about the Monday Market Report with you for the week ending June 9th, 2019. I'm your host, Sean. As always, feel free to share and subscribe. Hit the bell for instant notifications for those giveaways that are going to be starting here in about 10 days. And as always, love you guys. Thank you for all the support through the years. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you on the